This video is an introduction to the Prime Interactive Digital Edition, or IDE for short. We'll look at where to find all the content from your print book online and run you through some of the additional features you can use online. The video will take you through the layout of Prime IDE from the perspective of both the student and the teacher. We'll take a look at where to find each of the sections from the print edition, and we'll also go through some extra features that are unique to the digital format. Let's get started by taking a look at the features available to students, and then we'll move on to the more advanced features available to teachers. When a student logs in, they will see a dashboard displaying each unit assigned to their class. When they click on a unit's icon, the student will see the student edition material for that unit. All content is organized by section in a sidebar on the left side of the page. Students can click a lesson to expand the list of activities and readings under that lesson. The student will click an activity to view that section's content. Note that the student can hide or unhide the sidebar as needed to get a larger display of the content. In addition to viewing the text of the lesson, students will be able to use online tools to submit answers to questions directly. Most questions provide a text box, which allows students to enter text answers. Note that when you click away from the text box, the content of the box is automatically saved and made available to the teacher. For questions where students are asked to draw a model, they're presented with a draw box. This answer box type allows students to draw images. Some draw boxes even provide a set of stamps specific to that question. Students can use stamps to insert images, move them around, and add their own content to the drawing. Prime IDE also offers a variety of integrated reader supports for readings and lessons. Students can add highlighting to text, which will stay visible whenever a student returns to the section, and add their own notes throughout the text. Students will see the note whenever they hover over the text. There are also a number of options to assist students with visual impairments. Prime IDE offers audio recordings to supplement readings, options to adjust the display size of text, and the option to apply a high contrast background. At the bottom of the right sidebar, the student can select the glossary option to review a list of definitions of key terms. The Images option allows students to view a full set of all teacher-projected images in the unit. Clicking an image will display it at full size. The View Progress tab enables students to monitor their own progress in the unit by viewing their scores on activities, readings, and assessments. At the very bottom of the left sidebar, you'll see a Notes icon. This section allows students to view any notes they've added throughout the unit. Students can click a note to load the activity where that note was recorded. Now, let's take a look at the features and layout of the Teacher Edition. When a teacher logs in, you'll see a dashboard display just like the student sees. Just like the student's dashboard, the teacher will see icons for all units assigned to that teacher's classes. Before we view the Teacher Edition materials, let's take a look at one dashboard item the Teacher Dashboard has that the students don't see. Teachers will see an Admin link in the bottom right corner. The Admin section allows teachers to add and update classes, edit the units in each class, and manage students. The Curriculum link at the top will return you to the main screen. Just like the student side, the teacher can click a unit to view that unit's materials. When the unit loads, you'll see a big difference from the student view. The teacher has access to two sidebars, one on the right and one on the left. The sidebar on the left allows you to view the same student edition pages a student sees. This allows you to project student pages without needing to log out of your teacher account. You can also browse thumbnails of all students' scientific models. This occurs in real time, so you can plan for whole group sharing while students finish the activity. The sidebar on the right side provides your teacher edition materials. All the content in your teacher edition that students won't see in the student edition is available here. If you've opened a lesson on the student side and then open the Teacher Tools sidebar, you will automatically be set to see materials that match that lesson. You can use the drop-down menu at the top of the Teacher Tools sidebar to select a different lesson. Let's take a look at where to find each section of the print book in the Teacher Tools sidebar in IDE. First, let's look at the Topic Reference section. This section contains introductory materials for the entire unit. This is the content that appears at the beginning of the print teacher edition book. Prime Philosophy is a general introduction to Prime. This section will display the same content in every unit. This is a great place to begin for teachers who are new to Prime. The Topic Overview provides an overview of the content students will be working with in this unit. The Big Ideas section presents a list of key ideas covered in the unit. The Topic Calendar provides a breakdown of total class sessions for each lesson, with a class session being 45 minutes. Just like on the student side, the Teacher Tools tab also includes links to the glossary and projected images. The glossary can be used to develop your word wall of vocabulary terms for the given topic. Projected images will be displayed in context throughout your teacher edition materials, but you can also find them all in one place under the Projected Images tab. Finally, the Diverse Learners tab provides you with guidelines to help support differentiation and students with special needs. The Standards Addressed tab contains all alignment information for all grade-specific units organized by disciplinary topics. For example, 5 LS2 1. Standards Unit displays standards for all lessons in the unit in one place, and Standards Lesson displays standards for that lesson only. Now, let's select a lesson and take a look at the detailed information specific to each lesson. This can be found under the Cluster Reference and Teach Lesson sections. Since you'll be using these a lot, they're found right at the top of the Teacher Tools sidebar. The Cluster Reference section is very similar to the Topic Reference section, but it gives you background information specific to this cluster of lessons. In Prime, groups of lessons in a unit are organized by cluster. Each cluster usually includes 3 or 4 lessons from the unit. Under Overview, you'll see an introduction to the cluster, big ideas that relate to the cluster, and a rundown of which lessons belong in this cluster. For example, this is the Waste and Decomposers cluster, and it includes these 4 lessons. Over on the student side, you can cross-reference which lessons you're working with in the cluster. The Preparation section is a guide to scheduling and collecting materials for this cluster. NGSS gives you another look at the standards addressed in the cluster. Vocabulary runs you through the glossary terms in the cluster by lesson. And Teacher Background Information provides you with helpful content knowledge related to the cluster. The Teach Lesson section provides you with information specific to the selected lesson. Again, you'll get an overview of the content under a quick look. Under Preparation, you'll see a list of all materials and resources used in this lesson, along with step-by-step preparation instructions and setup videos for select activities. You'll also find direct links to any online materials used in the lesson, including links to larger versions of any videos. The Sessions section will guide you step by step through each session covered in the lesson, and after the lesson provides follow-up material to explore with students. There's another important feature under the Teach Lessons section, the Print the Lesson and Print SE Teacher Guide tabs. When you click Print the Lesson, this will open up a new tab displaying a PDF of the Teacher Edition book pages for just the selected lesson. The Print SE Teacher Guide tab will open a PDF of the pages in the Teacher Edition book that displays Student Edition text along with filled-in answers. Now that we've seen how the print material maps onto the teacher tools, let's take a look at some of the new interactivity features that you won't find in the print version of the book. The Student Work section allows you to view, grade, and post comments on student work submitted throughout the lessons. Grade Activity by Student allows you to grade an entire activity or reading for each student in a class. The bell icon lets you know that the student has submitted answers, and the green thumbs up icon means that you have submitted comments and grades for that student's work. When you click an activity for which a student has submitted answers, you'll be able to view the student's answers and submit your own comments and grades. Grade Activity by Question is another way of viewing and grading student submissions. This section allows you to view student responses question by question. The View Notes by Student option allows you to check in on student note-taking. Student notes are organized by lesson. Clicking on a note takes you to the activity or reading where it was made. Lastly, the View Grades option allows you to review all your student grades, both for full classes and for individual students, at any time. The Assessments feature allows you to create online tests or quizzes. You can build a quiz using the library of questions we provide for the unit, or you can create your own questions as needed. You can also share assessments with other teachers in your district. Any assessments shared by you or others will be found under Shared Assessments. The options to start and stop assessments will allow you to turn a test on so that it's the only thing your students will see in IDE, and stop the test when their allotted time is done. Like the Student Work section, the assessments also have the full set of options to grade student submissions. The Teacher Portal Files section is where you would find supporting materials for your unit. This includes all materials that are printable or projectable. Topic Resources is where you'll find general content for the unit, including PDFs of the full Student Edition and Teacher Edition books. Lesson Planning Resources includes documentation for planning each of the individual lessons, including setup videos for classroom activities and printable PDFs of assessment bank questions. And Teaching the Lesson Resources includes content you might need in the classroom while teaching the lesson, such as projected images, audio readings, printable PDFs of readings, videos to display to students, and printable documents for families and classroom distribution. At the bottom of the right sidebar, you'll see the Support section. The Configure Students and Classes link provides you with another way to reach your admin section. The Version Updates tab will provide you with updates to any pages in the printed document that have been updated in IDE. You will also automatically receive an alert whenever you log into any unit that's been updated. And finally, if you have any questions for us about your IDE experience, you can contact us at any time by clicking the Contact Support link. Our staff will be glad to address any follow-up questions you may have.